Guys, here we go. It's time to take on Sachi. And we have just beaten her first move. Are you ready for it to go mental? Because I think it's about to do just that. Wait a minute, and welcome. My name is Yuusha, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. I believe this is part 65. Yes, I think I got the part number correct this time. And now we are about to foil all of Sachi's plans to make her fail for the first time ever. So I hope you guys are ready. I'm strapped in. Are you strapped in? You better be, because we are not stopping for at least an hour. So guys, Yuusha! When I turn the corner into the thoroughly drenched hallway, I find Sachi crouched low on the floor, her eyes wide with shock. Interesting that she came in full school uniform, not the maid outfit she finds it easiest to work in. I guess she was trying to show respect for the place in her way. But yeah, she can't disobey the rules. Yep. Yeah, turn the sprinkler on after this afternoon, if that's what you're wondering about. Well, it'd be a bit of a pain in the arse if the alarms went off, so I did leave those deactivated. Carefully shutting down the preventative systems beforehand to enable setting a large-scale fire? Just the sort of plan I'd expect from you, Sachi. Yeah. Well, it's actually pretty simple to predict the way a contempt careful person would approach something like this. If I was going to try and set a fire to this building, I'd have done the exact same thing. Taking out the sprinklers was a necessity, and today was the only day to do it. Yep. I was prepared. Yeah, I expected you to use this method from the start. And I turned the sprinklers back on because there's something I want to tell you. Sachi's mind doesn't seem to have fully caught up with the events. Her face is blank, her eyes filled with puzzlement. Most likely she hasn't even begun to consider the possibility that someone would step in to interfere at this juncture. The situation you're dealing with here is completely different from the last one. The size and construction of this building is nothing like that little wooden schoolhouse. Plus, it's equipped with state-of-the-art firefighting systems. Disabling those beforehand was a good start, but sprinkling kerosene around like you did last time would require a lot more fuel to be really effective. And you need a lot more time to spread it. Considering that you absolutely have to do the job alone before anyone notices, your chances of success are virtually nil. So he knew that she would fail this, even with the way that she could figure out. It's entirely likely you cause some damage here and there, but that's not going to be a huge problem. The test would just be moved to an intact classroom. This place was designed for people like us, remember? You're not going to shut it down that easily. Yeah, that makes even more sense. As I lay out the truth of the situation, Sachi stares up at me with disbelief and terror in her eyes. What? Yeah, at this rate you're going to fail. Oh. Oh, here we go. The colour instantly drains from Sachi's face. She slumps jerkily to the soaking wet floor like a puppet cut from its strings. Why so surprised? I'm pretty sure you knew this wouldn't work all along. Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't have been searching that intently for another way. Nearly thought that researching your previous method was good enough. Oh. But no matter how you looked, no matter how hard you thought it over, no other solution presented itself. And unable to find a genuinely viable strategy, you had no choice but to turn to your previous method. Since there was no other way, even if the prospects looked dim, you could at least cling to the thought that it worked before. Am I wrong? Sam! We're just absolutely ripping into Sachi completely. Hmm? She's still hell-bent on doing it. Ooh. It's not allowed. Are we gonna fight Sachi? Is she gonna battle us? I've never seen this expression on her face before. I've never heard a voice so thick with emotion. The sound echoes fiercely down the dark hallway. No one responds. Her anguish and desperation hang in the air for a moment, then fade into the indifferent silence as if to symbolize her long, lonely, futile struggle. Tell me something, Sachi. Why are you so determined to do everything asked of you? Why are you so persistent with this good girl thing? Oh, getting rid of the test is a completely unreasonable demand to make of a normal human being. The others said as much, didn't they? Even if you give up now, they'll probably just say, yeah, figured as much. Nobody's going to hold it against you. Oh, can't I? What? Oh? Even her family. Yeah, her uncle and aunt, right? Oh no, she's on about her mum and her father. Ooh. What do you mean they'll go away? They'll die? Oh yeah, she'll think they'll die. No. Don't lie. Don't lie, Sachi. Damn it. You convinced yourself that far? Oh no. Don't think that, no. Oh. Oh no. I wouldn't do that. No, we wouldn't. Don't go down this route. Sachi, don't go down this route. Sachi's feelings flow out of her in a torrent of words, her voice rising to a shout. Every sentence is filled with such bitterness that it's difficult even to listen. The pain of losing those who are precious to her, the sadness, the impotent anger and jumbled together in anguished wail. To me, it sounds like the voice of a child crying out for help. Yep. So then, if you become a good girl, if you succeed in this request, will you be yourself again? Oh, well, acting like a good girl should keep the things you love safe. Here we go. We're breaking the logic that she's put on herself. What do you think, Sachi? Sachi's bared her heart to me. In return, I offer not kindness or comforting words, but a steady gaze. Oh no. I see. In that case, I'll grant your wish. Wait, what? I'm going to help you become the person you want to be. I'll make sure you complete this task. I made a promise, didn't I? I want to help you be yourself. Oh. So am I going to make her feel guilty for it all? Virtually impossible means there's a non-zero chance. And if you're not trying to do everything alone, things change pretty dramatically. As long as you really are willing to do whatever it takes, there are plenty of ways to get this done. Oh my goodness. Of course. Yeah, I have a slightly different way of doing things, but it should be fine. The preliminary arrangements are already in place. Wait. I assume joint responsibility for our success in this job. And when 9,029 participants in an mission, failure isn't an option. Of course, this isn't an Grisaia job, and I'm not going on a cleaning expedition. Is this the phone calls I made? Even so, I'm still my master's pupil. Article didn't just develop my technique and cram me full of technical knowledge, she taught me a whole way of thinking. No matter what the job entails, I'll face it with the resolve and focus I bring to the most dangerous missions.
9029
Well, it's just a number that comes to a bit of a reputation. No matter how ugly things look, 9029 pulls through. Wait. Is that his squadron number? Sachi gazes up at me as though I've descended on a cloud from heaven. Having proposed this strategy, I naturally know full well how things are going to play out. She's going to want me to do it. And when I think about what's coming, it takes a real effort not to turn away from that gaze.
Yu-kun?
No, it's nothing. Shaking my head lightly to drive away that lingering touch of guilt, I settle my face into that serious expression. But since it's your perfect record at stake here, I think you should be the one to actually carry this plan out.
はい。私にできることがあれば、何でもやらせてください。
Right, in that case, there's something I want you to do for me.
やってもらいたいこと。
What's that? Wait, Yuji?
ここは学園長室ですよね。
Why are we in here? Yeah, this was my base camp during the initial preparations. Although Chizuru might be irritated to hear me say it, I needed a room no one was likely to drop by and visit.
ということは、ずいぶん前から準備を。
Yeah, that's right. The method I came up with involved a good amount of simple spade work.
なるほどです。
Anyway, everything's more or less ready to go, but we still need the finishing touch.
仕上げ。
What is that? Come on, Yuji. I'd like you to help me with that. What is it? I relieve a sizable duralumin case from behind the desk and swing it. Wait a minute. A duralumin That's a metal that's used on planes. That's a metal that's used specifically on planes because it's supposed to be stronger than... I can't remember what metal it was. I think it's stronger than steel, but a third lighter than aluminium. It's a hybrid metal. I remember because it's actually used for the rivets on most planes. There you go. There's a fact for the day from me. Is there weapons in there?
これは何でしょう。粘土みたいにぐにゃぐにゃしていますけど。
Is it a claymore? I guess it's not surprising that Sachi wouldn't recognize this stuff no matter how broad her studies may be. Well, she might have heard of it, but that probably wouldn't translate into recognizing it by sight. I'm hoping to wrap this up before midnight, so I'm not going to explain in detail at the moment. Just think of it as a clay for now, if you like. Yeah, claymore.
粘土で学力テストをなくすことができるんですか？
Yeah, once you set some of that up in a few places, the job's done. I'll show you what needs to be done. Think you can handle it, Sachi?
はい。粘土細工は得意な方だと自負しています。お任せください。
Your artistic talents aren't really relevant. Well, whatever. That confidence should be more than enough to pull this off.
はい。
But why are we going through with this? Yuji, what are you doing? Alright, first of all, I'll explain how to install it. You see this deep hole here?
はい。それに点々と木箱のようなものが廊下に。
Well, getting all of these ready was one part of the spade work I mentioned.
なるほどです。
Anyway, when you see a hole like this, install one of these long, thin pieces of clay inside, like so. If there's a square drawn on the wall, instead, set one of these square pieces of clay on top of it. That's all I need you to do for me, Harmony. No, why did I say Harmony? What the hell? What's going on with me? Yeah, ignore that completely. Good God. Any questions?
ありません。
Excellent. I've marked the points you need to cover on these plans. So go ahead and get started. I'll be taking care of something else in the meantime.
はい、わかりました。
Alright, let's go. Looks like that's about it.
はい。
Sachi can't fully master the wariness in her voice and her face. No doubt of a result of all the pressure she's been under lately. Our final task completed. We meet up in the courtyard as arranged beforehand. Everything gonna go boom boom.
私は本当に図面通りに粘土を設置しただけなのですが、これでテストをなくすことができるのでしょうか？
Yeah, as long as you didn't make any mistakes, it will.
そうですか。
Apparently not fully buying my assurances, Sachi answers somewhat half-heartedly. Of course, she doesn't have the concrete details to her. Oh, sorry, details. To her, it really was nothing more than scattering some clay around the building. But it'd be stranger if she wasn't a little dubious at this point. Okay, I could tell you want to see some results. Let's get moving.
はい、わかりました。
So, the girls are on a helicopter ride at the moment as well now, aren't they? So, are they going to see the explosion? I think they are.
ゆうくん、私たちはどこへ向かっているのでしょう?
I don't know. Sachi tagged along in silence for a good while, but eventually she's no longer able to contain her uncertainty. A place where we can overlook the
どう
school.
してそんなところに?
You'll understand soon. Whoa, hello, CG. Alright, I guess he'll be fine. After about 20 minutes of walking, we reach a high place not far away. There's little cover of any sort. Below us, the reclaimed spit of land where our school stands lies clearly visible.
確かに学園が見渡せる景色の綺麗な場所ですけど、ゆうくんはここで何を?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it blow. Before I answer that question, there's something I want to confirm.
確認ですか?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You sure you want to do this? Fulfill this request?
それはどういう意味でしょう?
Go on, Yuji. You want to do what you're told without fail, to answer every demand anyone makes of you. And so you're absolutely determined to carry out even a completely unreasonable request like getting rid of a test. That's the choice you're making here. You sure you're not going to regret it?
後悔?
Yeah. Oh, make her think. Listen to me, Sachi. This is an important question. Think it over carefully. Give me an honest answer. Sachi falls silent. A serious expression on her face. Looks like she's already started to deliberate. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know how she's reasoning her way through this question. But no matter how dependent she may be on others, no matter how passive and obedient her way of life, in the end, her decisions are her own. Yeah, decisions are her own. If nothing else, I want to remind her of that. So that means if she's resolved, we're going to blow the school up. But if she chooses not to, we're not going to blow it up. Or are we going to blow it up anyway?
ゆうくん、私はこの依頼を成功させたいです。
Oh no, Sachi.
いい子で居続けること。それが私が私でいられるってことなんです。
Let's hope you don't regret this then. I see. Then I have no choice but to make her realize. Guess that's going to cause a bit of trouble for you guys, but those are the breaks. Your luck ran out the day I transferred into your class. He doesn't want to do this. Sorry, Sakaki. Amane, Michiru, Makina. Alright then. Throw this switch and you'll get what you want. With those words, I retrieve a crudely made remote control from my jacket and hand it to Sachi.
私がこのスイッチを?
Yep. Yeah, doesn't look like much, does it? But I guarantee you, that thing will get rid of the test. Throw that switch, and you'll stay a good girl.
わかりました。
She's gonna do it. After staring down at the small box in her hands for a long moment, Sachi shifts her gaze to our school. Firm conviction in her eyes. Are we gonna watch it blow? They are gonna watch it! I'm sorry, all of you. And also the stars are twinkling. I've just noticed that.
確かにあんなに美味しい中華料理食べたのって初めてかもね。
They have no idea.
なんで私がそんなことしなきゃいけないのよ。ちょっとだけだからね。
アンガト。
ジルジル言うな。
ジェロジェロ。
ジルジル？それあだ名ですらないじゃない。もうただの擬音になってるし。
Yeah, it sounds like ギョロギョロ。
中華街で高級中華食べ放題の後はヘリで夜景鑑賞なんて。
Yep.
榊さんの家がお金持ちなのは知ってるけど、こんなに豪遊しちゃって大丈夫だったの?
Oh, it's fine.
中華以外は私のお金じゃないの。
Oh.
なんて?
Oh.
なんでもないの。ねえねえ、ゆう
She
こ。
almost gave it away.
あれが東京タワー。あれが噂の東京タワーなの。松島さん、あなたが初めての空からの夜景に興奮しているのはわかるけれど、もう少し静かにできないの？失礼ね。私だって空からの夜景くらい見たことあるわよ。海外って行ったことあるし。
Yeah, I have as well.
ミチルって
But she's been
海外行ったこと
abroad?
あるんだ。まあね。でも遠い昔の話よ。
And we're gonna find out about that on Michiru's route because she's next route. Why was that so hard to say?
でも榊さんも粋な計らいしてくれるわよね。夏休み最終日にこんな思い出作ってくれるなんて。
I'm about to create a new
そう
one.
思ったのならお礼は風見くんに言っておくといいよ。ん？そこでなんでユージ？私に今日のことを提案してくれたのは
Yep.
風見くんだからよ。なるほどなるほど。榊さんのテレブレにはこういう裏があったわけですか。
There we go. Oh,
それよりさ、夜景が綺麗なのが東京の方ばっかりで、三島崎の方はあまり見るとこない感じじゃない？
No, not
それは
really.
しょうがないでしょう。三島崎って割と田舎だし。
Yeah, it's
そう
tiny.
でもないのよ。さっきあそこがピカって光ったし。
Oh no.
どこどこ？あ、
Oh, they saw it. Oh my god! A brief flash of light. Unlike an aerial bombing, there's no brilliant burst of flame to accompany the powerful sound of the blast. A pretty plain explosion as these things go. A pretty plain explosion, he says. The school building where I spent the last 3 months of my life and Sachi nearly a year of hers crumbles noisily before our eyes.
あれは美浜学園ですよね。
Yeah, do you regret it? Yeah, it was Mihama Academy. At least, we just got rid of it along with that test.
じゃあ私がさっき設置した
She realizes
粘土のよ
now.
うなものは
Yep,
まさか。
plastic explosives. Yep, modern Japanese architecture is world famous for its strict building codes and sturdy engineering, you know. Demolishing even a modest-sized structure requires a lot of detailed calculations, and boring into the supporting columns is a pretty involved process. Just getting the necessary amount of explosives ready was a real challenge. Whoa. Yeah, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, with the building itself gone, the school won't be up and running anytime soon. That test isn't going to happen. In fact, I expect that's going to be the last thing on anyone's mind for a while.
確かにその通りです。
Yeah, what do you think, Sachi? This is what you wanted, right? Sachi responds vaguely to my explanation, her tone absent-minded. The world seemed to have left her mouth out of reflex. Her attention is clearly glued to the building below, or what's left of it anyway. There are plenty of other formalities and preparations involved as well. Considering all the time it took to set this up, it sure disappeared pretty quickly.
そうですね。
You don't regret it, do you? Something wrong? This is what you wanted, right?
はい。ゆうくんの言う通りです。これでテストがなくなるなら、みちる様の依頼を達成したことになる。そうなれば、私はいい子で居続けることができます。
You're about to find out the whole opposite, I'm pretty sure.
それが私の望んだもので、私はそ
She's
のため
crying.
だけに今まで頑張ってきた。
Sachi's crying!
なのに、それなのに、こんなにも胸がざわざわするのはなぜなんでしょう。
Apparently unable to grasp her own emotions, Sachi continues to stare down at the rubble that was once our school, her face blank with confusion. Can't understand where that's coming from, huh?
はい。
Well, I guess that's not surprising. You've never felt uncertainty about doing what you're told, have you? Yep, never felt it necessary to even consider how obeying an order makes you feel.
じゃあ、私は。
You regret it. Put a hand on your cheek. Yep. So she's still savable. Sachi obediently brings a hand to her face, and her fingers brush off against a small stream of tears.
私、
Yeah, you're crying.
でも、どうして。
You didn't want to do it. The girl wasn't even aware she was crying. Her confusion only deepening, Sachi looks up at me with a face full of pure bewilderment. You may not be conscious of it yet, but apparently you already know the answer to that question. Yeah. What was that place?
私が去年から通っている学園です。
Yep.
ゆう
And
くんがいて、皆さんがいて、今日まで
here we
本
go.
当にたくさんのことがあった場所です。
Specifically, what sort of things?
みんなでいろんな科目の授業を受けて、みんなで遊んで、
the baseball one, yes. That
屋
was fun.
上で流しそうめんをしたこともありました。
Yep, we did the weird Soman thing. Anything else come to mind?
最近はいろいろな相談に乗っていただきました。
Yeah. How does it
ちょ
feel
っ
to
とエ
take it
ッ
all
チ
down?
な相談に乗ってもらったり、おしゃれの相談に乗ってもらったり、ゆうくんから出された課題について相談に乗ってもらったこともありました。
So you spent a lot of time there. What sort of memories are those?
でも楽しい時間だったと思います。前の学校にいた頃は考えられなかったような会話と笑顔に満ちた空間。
Yep.
私が転入してきたこの美浜学園は、町の人たちから刑務所と比喩されるような場所とは正反対のところだったんです。外では厄介者扱いされるような私のことを、この学園は受け入れてくれました。みちる様は私のことを必要としてくれました。まきちゃんは私のことを一番の友達だと言ってくれました。
Yeah, she's
山根
realizing
さん
now.
は私にたくさんのことを教えてくれました。榊さんは一歩引いたところからいつも私のことを気
She
にかけてくれていま
sounds
した。
she sounds so unsure. The words begin to flow smoothly, naturally. Sachi no longer needs my questions to guide her, as she begins to understand the meaning of her tears. Her honest feelings come pouring out of her mouth.
私が大好きだったあの家のように温かい場所、それが私にとっての美浜学園です。
That a
はい、
fact?
あの学園は私にとってきっとそれだけ特別な場所だったんです。
Right. And you just destroyed that special place with your own hands. Yep. Since your 10th birthday, you've been clinging persistently to a single idea, telling yourself it's the one and only answer. Do what you're told, be a good girl, never disobey. And your stubborn adherence to that simplistic rule brought you to this moment. Oh no. Oh.
私いい子でい続けたのに、あんなに頑張ったのに、いい子でい続けることで大切なものを失うなら、私は今まで何のためにこんなの違う、絶対に違う。
She finally
私
realizes
が望ん
what
でい
she's
たのは
done.
こんなんじゃない、こんなんじゃないのに。
You told me that being a good girl was all that allows you to be yourself. That's it. That it's the only way to ensure your happiness. You did say that. Sorry, but you were wrong. That's not how this works. Sure, an intelligent, pathologically helpful, honest student will probably make plenty of friends anywhere they go. You're so useful to have around, most people probably treated you nicely enough for their own convenience. And when they realized that you were what you were carrying, you were no longer of any use to them. I guess they abandoned you quickly enough. That sort always will. But how about the people in the school? You think they're the same way?
それは
Oh, do you really believe Michiru and Makina think of you as nothing but their personal lackey? Do you really believe they had abandoned a friend for failing to carry out a single order?
思いません。
That's right. You've been so afraid of losing something that you couldn't even see what you had. You've been going through life curled up in a shell, both eyes squeezed shut. In exchange for your brittle happiness, you've lost sight of what's around you. And you've lost something you didn't even know you had. That's what I wanted you to
大
realize.
切なものを守ろうとして何かを失う。
Yeah. You know, human beings may be the smartest animals currently strutting around the earth, but that doesn't mean we're the wisest. No matter how much we learn or how advanced our civilization becomes, we're still complete idiots about the simplest things. Oh yes. When it comes right down to it, we don't even realize how precious anything is until we lose it. I might be giving you a pretty pompous lecture right now, but I'm no exception to that rule myself.
じゃあゆうくんにも
Wait, what? Yeah. There was a reason I couldn't promise to play with you on your birthday. My sister had died in an accident. So that was the day that his sister went into the woods. And with her gone, my family crumbled in on itself like a house of cards. I'm the only one who got through it alive. Yep.
私ゆうくんにそんなことがあったなんて
She was so caught up in
全然
herself.
知りませんでした
She was so caught up in herself she never paid attention. Of course you didn't. I never told
じ
you.
ゃあもしかしてゆうくんはそのことを私に教えようとして
Not entirely. I also wanted to learn something about you.
私のことを
Oh.
知る
Yeah. There was a time when you could have asked me for anything, and all you requested was my praise. That's the one thing I had never really understood. Oh. But after hearing your feelings just now, I think I finally found my answer. Jesus! I turned Sachi toward me and softly rested my hand on her head. It's been a long and lonely road, hasn't it? You did good, Sachi. You really did. She wanted somebody to recognize what she'd been through. Speaking in the gentlest tone of voice I can manage, I affectionately ruffle Sachi's hair. Her eyes open wide as saucers, and in the next moment, fat tears are running down her face. Don't break me. Don't.
私
You were waiting to hear those words, weren't you? Utterly lost, overwhelmed by pain, sadness and confusion, waiting for someone to show her the way forward. Waiting for someone to see the crushing guilt she carried, to know the punishment she'd levied on herself every moment of her every day. And to tell her, you've done enough. Yeah, she just wanted somebody to tell her to stop.
なのかもしれません
She just wanted someone to tell her to stop.
私
To be a good girl, she wanted somebody to tell her to stop.
怖かったんですテストでいい点を取ってお手伝いもしてそんな私をお父さんとお母さんは偉いねって褒めてくれました
They did.
それなのに急にお父さんとお母さんが冷たくなって大好きだったあの家に機械の音ばかりが響くようになって最後にはあんなことになってそれは私がわがままだったのがいけなかったんだもっといい子でいなければいけなかったんだって
She's still stuck in that
だ
point.
からもう一度も失敗できないいい子でい続けなきゃって
I see. Then I suppose I'm the only one who can tell you this now. You don't have to be a good girl anymore. I understand your feelings. I understand how hard you've tried. You've done more than enough. You can rest now.
それは本当でしょうか
Oh god, now I'm tearing. No. Yep.
本当に私はもういい子でいなくてもいいんでしょうか
It's fine, Sachi. Yeah, it's true. Let it all out. Her 10th birthday, a day that should have been full of happy memories, ended in unimaginable tragedy. Ever since that she lived a half-life, bound tightly by the irrational guilt of a child, until this moment. The good girl she never truly was. The role she forced herself to play in all this time evaporates with her tears into the warm night. All this time, she suffered quietly, locking her constant fear and pain somewhere out of sight. Nobody can erase those years, or the mark they've left on her. And nobody can undo the accident that ruined her life. There's one and only one thing I can do for Sachi right now. Hold her shaking body in my arms until her tears run dry. I hope so. Right. When she's cried her fill, Sachi firmly wipes her cheeks dry and raises her head from its resting place against my chest. Nothing to worry about. A girl's tear-stained face is a special privilege reserved for her boyfriend. You finally set yourself free. I did just blow up a school for you, remember? I don't think it's too much to ask. Yeah. She's come back. Sachi. This bit of soundtrack. I don't recognize this. Oh wow. Yeah, we did. Probably going to cause Sakaki and company a lot of trouble. Not to mention everyone who works there. As she finally realizes the potential for the collateral damage involved with this little show, the color drains to Sachi's face. She wasn't even aware that everyone could have been there. Don't worry about them. They're in a safe place. She didn't even realize she could have put them all in danger. An expression of pure relief spreading across her face. Sachi brings a hand to her chest as if to slow the frantic beating of her heart. It's a simple, earnest gesture, one that speaks volumes about her feelings toward our classmates. That would kind of make this whole thing pointless, don't you think? Yeah, it kind of would. That would not accomplish anything. It feels like it's been an awfully long time since I had one of these distinctive pure Sachi moments. You're telling me? That brings me a slight sense of relief. Somehow it makes me feel like all this wasn't a waste of effort on my part. Well, we can't exactly go put the school back together again, but like I told you before, I spent some time on the planning phase here. And a big part of that was figuring out how to keep the damage and fuss to a minimum. Oh yeah, you did. Oh, wait, what else did you do? Yeah, I guess we've got to thank Chisadu and JB for that. Oh yes. When we entered the principal's office, didn't you notice that most of the books and documents went missing? She didn't even realize. Well, I guess she had other things to worry about at the time. But in any case, yeah, I got myself in some pretty serious debt to make this happen. Let's see. Even if I worked the rest of my life for free, I doubt I'd be able to pay this one back. Handle this sort of thing wrong, and there's a possibility I end up getting disposed of through an accidental death. Jesus! He'd done it for you. From what I'd seen, this is the only way I'd get through to you. You needed to fail through success. Yes, fail through success. If all I wanted was to get rid of that test, I could have just asked Chisadu. Yeah. Exactly the reason I had to blow up the school instead. Sachi draws a sharp little breath and looks away, a tinge of sadness and guilt in her eyes. You know, Sachi, a little while ago I said you were wrong to think of being a good girl would protect your happiness. But to be honest, I can't say your way of thinking was entirely mistaken. No, of course not. Everyone wants to be looked on with praise. That's why some people try and act out and also make themselves feel as special as possible, is in order to get that praise. It's a human thing. As a kid, you struggled desperately to find that answer. It got you back onto your feet. You fought hard all this time, living by that belief. And eventually you found people who understand you and care about you. You found what you were looking for. That's not a way of life you need to be ashamed of. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. You can't allow yourself to lose sight of what you're trying to protect.
私が守ろうと思ったもの。
Yeah. No one's asking you to change who you are. You're probably going to keep on being a pretty good kid. And that means people are going to keep asking you for favors. And that's fine. All you need to do is think over every request individually. Think about what they're asking you and why. Think about whether it's reasonable. Think about the consequences of saying yes and then accept or decline. I know you're capable of making those directions for yourself, Sachi. Yeah. But if your confidence ever wavers, come to me and we'll talk it over together. You mad lad, Yuuchi. You mad lad. I'll rack my brains with you until you make up your mind one way or another. There's not much else I can do, but I'll always be there to listen.
今の言葉を聞いて
She's understood the answer to our
やっと
question.
わかりました。
Yes. Understand?
ゆうくんが私に出した
Yes.
もう一つの課題。私が海でゆうくんの袖を引っ張ったのはどうしてなのか。
You realized.
その答えです。
Come on, lay it to me. Come to think of it, I did ask something like that. Don't tell me you
で
forgot.
も私にはその答えがわからなくて、結局皆さんに相談に乗っていただくことになりました。
I see. So I guess that would explain the regular meetings Sakaki mentioned the other day. Yeah, this is why I considered Sachi to now be one of my best girls.
そして皆さんが言うにはその課題の答えはとても簡単で、私がゆうくんのことを好きになったからだそうなんです。その答えは当たっていたでしょうか。
Why ask me? Probably faster to ask your heart. Or homos if you're feeling pragmatic. I mean,
確か
yeah.
にそうかもしれません。
Which one?
私は皆さんが考えたようにもうずっと前からたった一つの気持ちに動かされていたんです。
That's right. She said herself that she wasn't so sure what she was feeling. She said she didn't know if she was in love with him or not because she didn't know her own feelings. What makes you think
つ
that?
いさっきまでは全然そんなことなかった。
Oh.
でも今はこうして隣にいるだけでドキドキしてしまいますから。
Yes. Blushing an unusually vivid shade of red, Sachi smiles up at me. Among all the expressions I've seen on her face these past few months, I think this might be the single most natural and happiest. It's like a face of relief. I see.
だから改めて言わせてください。
Please. Pausing briefly, Sachi closes her eyes and takes a deep breath.
私、小峰幸はゆうくんのことが大好きです。
Yes.
ですからもしよければゆうくんのあなたの彼女でいさせてください。
She did it! She did it! She speaks her feelings plainly and directly, the smile never leaving her face. Just imagine if you rejected her now. Yeah, impossible, right? It's almost like I'm looking at a memory of the Sachi I knew as a child. There's a slightly enjoyable tickle of embarrassment in my chest. Oh? Well, it seems like I managed to win the girl over somehow, but this one gives as good as she gets. I came up with a lot of really decent justifications for trying to help her. Repaying the kindness she showed me as a child, discovering the meaning of my master's words, etc., etc. But to be honest, it's a lot less complicated than that. I've been slowly but surely falling in love with Sachi for a while now. You want the girl you love to be smiling. When something's making her suffer, you want to get rid of it. That's really all there is to it.
ゆうくん黙っていられると
Aww.
私
She knows
とても
nervousness
不安
as
になっ
well.
てしまうのですが、
But your anxious face isn't half bad
や
either.
っぱり 意地悪です。
Please pout more. Don't get sulky. You're going to have to put up with this sort of thing on a regular basis from now on.
それって
Yes, of course, if my pomposity has finally set off some warning bells, you can withdraw your candidacy before it's too late.
いえ、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
Yes! Oh. Breaking into an ear-to-ear grin, she throws herself forward against my chest. How are we going to explain this confession to the other four? Just saying. Something about the pleasant warmth of her body brings the vague feelings I've been carrying all this time into a sharp focus.
私はバカですね。
It's
ゆ
fine.
うくんが私を彼女にすると言ってくれたこと、私の代わりにみんなのお願いを聞いてくれたこと、そして今まで私に送ってくれたたくさんの言葉たち、
Oh, yes.
その意味がやっと分かった気がします。
I don't see the problem. Neither do I. This isn't a race. How long it took you to see what you were missing isn't important. What really matters is how clearly you understand where you went wrong, and how well you make us use that knowledge from now on.
なんだか素敵な言葉です。
It's been a while since I've heard you say that, Sachi. Can't take the credit. I'm quoting someone who helped me find my own way in life. A while ago
つ
now.
まりゆうくんにとってのゆうくん
Didn't...
ということですね。
Huh? The hell's that supposed to mean?
ゆうくんは今も昔も私に道を示してくれましたから。
Oh, nice to hear. I'll have to take Sachi's word for it, though. Nice to hear. Sorry, I'll have to take Sachi's word for it, though. I really don't remember doing that much for her. But even if I'm not half the person my master was, I left a mark on Sachi's heart back then. And maybe, in helping her now, I've managed to pay off some small part of the debt of gratitude I owe Uskal. Wait, you're doing this for Uskal? Your master?
それに
Why?
ゆうくん
Why
は
do you want to do this for your
いい子
master?
でいる
Like,
こ
so
とも悪
badly.
くないって言ってくれましたけど、
I want to find out more about his master now.
私はもう
She sounds like a badass.
今までのようないい子でいられないかもしれません。
Oh, why is that? Sorry, what does that mean?
ゆうくんが言って
Yeah,
いた、私が私でいられるということ、
right.
それはきっと昔のようにわがままだった自分といい子でいようとする今の自分、
Yes, yes,
その2つを含めた私が本
yes.
当の私だってことなんですよね。
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
はい。だから今の私はとてもわがままが言いたい気分です。
Yes, yes, be selfish, please. Selfish?
私に大切なことを教えてくれたゆうくんへの感謝の気持ち、そしてそんなゆうくんのことが大好きだという気持ちを伝えたいんです。
Yes. The words are barely out of Sachi's mouth before she springs her face to mine. Yes, true. Don't know what the hell that cheer was, but there we go. Just like that, she softly kisses me. For the first time, I feel the warmth of her lips against mine. A long, gentle kiss, as if to affirm our mutual feelings. As I savor that simple pleasure, I wrap my arms firmly around Sachi, pulling the weight of her body against me. Yes. For a long moment, Sachi closes her eyes and focuses entirely on the movement of her lips. When she finally pulls back to draw a breath, her mouth leaves mine with palpable reluctance. Oh, she wanted more. Oh my
好
god.
きです。ゆうくん、
Oh my lord.
今も昔も、そしてこれからも
Yeah, same to you,
気
kid.
持ちを伝えた相手が自分と同じ気持ちでいてくれるのはとても嬉しいです。
Not a
今
fact.
ならゆうくんがどうしてキスをしようとしなかったのか、最後までエッチをしてくれなかったの
Well, yeah, it was because
そ
of
の
these.
理由もわかる気がしますから、
Oh, let's hear it then.
私が今感じているこの気持ちが大事だったんですね。
Nice work as always. Yeah, Gokuro-sama.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, I love this. I love this. You cannot see it, but I'm smiling ear to ear. No, yeah, ear to ear. That's the right saying. With an amused smile and words of thanks, Sachi offers me a polite little bow. I've heard the same many times before, but now that I fully understand just how much I care about the girl, the sincere gratitude in her voice inspires a wave of happiness that takes me by surprise in its
だ
intensity.
からこの気持ちをこれからも言葉にさせてください。
Alright.
今まで伝えられなかった分も全部
You sure you do ask a lot, don't you?
覚悟してくださいね。
Yes, she did.
初恋もゆうくんなんですから。
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll strengthen my resolve. Don't worry, I'm prepared. I brought a gun. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna ruin the mood. So Sachi can smile like this after all. I love you, Sachi. Yes, I shall drink some coke to this. For the first time, I tell her exactly how I feel. And immediately thereafter, I bring my lips to hers. Nice. Being loved by someone, and loving them in return. A basic human experience. Normal, healthy emotions. Uncomplicated happiness. The sort of thing I thought I'd lost forever a long time ago. But it seems the life I've led wasn't enough to permanently erase that part of me. I finally found it again. Savouring the pleasure of our simultaneous physical and emotional connection, we lie there for some time enjoying the warmth of each other's bodies. Oh, wow. And it's 11 o'clock. Excuse me. Human warmth just might be the one and only drug God permits us. Well then, you don't need to tell me what just happened. I think I know. And I think the dorm's the only thing we didn't. Well, I don't think we blew up the dorm anyway. Also, I thought the first time I slept with a woman. Wait, what? Okay. The welcoming softness of their skin, the just right heat of their bodies, it's enough to make your brain melt out your ears. Wouldn't you know it? Man. I've forgotten all about that feeling. But really, though, it is like a drug. When you've got something like that lying in your arms, it's only natural that you want to hold onto it forever. But unfortunately, only monkeys get to spend their lives immersing themselves in physical pleasure. And I happen to be a higher primate with other things to worry about. Specifically, the stunt I just pulled on behalf of the girl I fell in love with. I destroyed Mihama Academy, knowing full well how much trouble it would cause. I've got to accept reality and own up to my actions. Wait, what? First and foremost to the four girls who are so concerned for Sachi. Oh, they're coming back, aren't they?
Sachi!
The instant we enter the dorm and announce our arrival, Michiru pounces like a twin-tailed tiger, wrapped both arms around Sachi.
急に発情しないでください、ミキル様。前々から言っていますが、私にそっちの手は。
What a response!
こんな時に何とぼけてるのよ。あんたが無事に帰ってきたから喜んでるんでしょ。
私が無事に？
チルチルの言う通りなのよ。空を飛んでたら急に
That's why we got the helicopter. Just to specifically show her moment of graduating from her prison. Excuse me.
飛んでたら壊れ。
Yeah, boom boom. It went boom boom.
小峰さんは知らなかったかもしれないけれど、学園が爆破された時、私たちはヘリに乗っていたのよ。
なるほどです。ゆうくんの言っていた安全な場所というのは、空の上だったんですね。
Oh yeah. Pretty Pole's planted little tour, right? Just doing it for a cheap thrill, am I? Okay then. Just about right for the last night of summer vacation.
これまで見てきた中でも最低の夜景だったの。
Yeah, sorry about that. Sakagi's words are sardonic and accusatory, but the look on her face is surprisingly gentle. I don't get the impression she's actually angry.
確かにさっちゃんとユージが無事だったのは良かったけど、二人には
納得のいく説明をしてもらわないとね。
Yeah, that's fair. In contrast, Amane marches right up and grabs me by the shoulder, resembling nothing as much so much as an ogre who woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Yep, Shrek's arrived, guys. Sure, what do you want me to explain?
なんのって、私たちの学園がなくなってることについてに決まってるでしょ。
Well.
急いで戻ってきたら学園は瓦礫の山になってるし、こうして寮が残ってたことにびっくりしたくらいよ。
Yeah, I made sure it stood. Oh, right, that.
そのことかってね。
Oh, そのことか。Well, what's to explain? We just got rid of that test as requested.
どこがただなのよ。私たちは学園をなくしてなんてお願いした覚えはないわよ。
Actually, ask Sachi.
ヘリに乗って気持ちよく夜景を眺めてたのに、突然自分たちの学園が崩れ始めて、みんな本当に驚いたんだからね。
ユミちゃんなんか
Huh?
小峰さんと風見くんが早くここから降ろしてってパイロッ
Whoa!
トのおっちゃんにダダをこねて大変だったのよ。
She threw a tantrum like that?
それはあんなものを見せられたら誰だって。
Alright, hold on. Sundari bell. For the actual Sundari.
そうよ。私たちがもし寮にいたら今頃小顔美人になってたかもしれないんだから。
Right. Why have you? Sounds like a net positive, but in any case, that's the exact reason I made sure you're all safe in the sky.
ああ、なるほど。
Oh.
って私が聞きたいのはそういうことじゃなくて学園を壊しちゃった理由。
I told you the reason! Well, that's for that.
それは私から皆さんにお話しします。
Interrupting mid-sentence, Sachi takes a determined step forward.
さっちゃんが
Yeah, you expected it to be me, no.
はい。テストをなくせという依頼を受けようとしたのも、学園を爆破することになったのも、すべてゆうくんが私のためにしてくれたことですから。
Yes, and so she explains clearly and frankly, starting at the very beginning. The advice I gave her, the feelings I conveyed to her, the trauma of her part. She even spoke about that. And the struggles she's undergone ever since. She doesn't hold back a thing. She doesn't flinch or hesitate. Whoa.
ですから、今回の件はすべて私の責任なんです。そのせいで、皆さんにとっても大切な学園を壊すことになってしまって、本当にすみませんでした。
Wait. Yeah, she's doing Dolgi Hiza, which is when you literally put your head to the floor and bow in apology. There's a reason everyone here avoids talking about the past. We all vaguely understand that it can't be a pleasant topic for anyone in a place like this. Sachi, of course, is no exception. Talking about this can't be easy for her, but even so, she lays everything bare in front of her friends, then bows her head in sincere apology. Our classmates still half in shock over the abrupt demolition of their school, and now have Sachi's complicated and unhappy life story to contend with as well. Finally understanding how their friends became the obedient maid, they've joked about all this time. The four girls sink into awkward silence. Well, that's the way Sachi sees it, but the fact is, I'm the one who decided to blow up the school. Yeah. I knew it was going to cause you trouble, but I did it anyway. And for what it's worth, I'm really sorry. Yep, I'm doing the same. Following Sachi's example, I lower my head in apology. Oh wait, we're not doing Doggy Hiza. Okay.
そうやって二人に謝られると何にも言えなくなっちゃうじゃない。まあ、そういうことなんだろうとは思っていたわ。
Uh-huh. Okay.
要するに、もうサチが何でも言うことを聞く必要がなくなったってことでしょ。
She has to think about it more logically.
だったら、それは喜ぶべきことじゃない。
Yeah.
私はもともとサッチンとお兄ちゃんが無事なら
Oh, yeah.
それでよかったのよさ。
Yes.
皆さん。
Oh, she's crying. Oh. Sachi must have been genuinely prepared for anger or rejection. When she received warm words instead, tears well up in the corners of her eyes. Now that she's finally realized just how important these people are to her, their acceptance must feel incredibly good. I think I owe you an apology in particular, Sakaki.
だからあの時私に謝ったのね。
Yeah, I know it's not enough just to say this, but I really am sorry.
別に謝ってもらう必要はないわ。
What?
あなたがどんな方法で私の父を納得させたのかは知らないけれど、
I persuaded her father?
自分の娘を通わせている学園がなくなるというのに連絡の一つもよこさない。
Oh damn. Okay, so that's on Yumiko's route. I'm doing Yumiko last for multiple reasons. Many people have said, do hers last.
あの人にとって私とこの学園はきっとそれくらいの価値しかないのよ。
She must have an interesting story. Even so.
それに新しい鳥かごもきっとすぐに用意されるわ。
Oh? Birdcage? Like the opening video of The Fruit of Grisaia? Hello? I'm aware that Sakaki and her father don't exactly get along, but we're talking about a large modern building with top-of-the-line facilities and equipment. The initial construction cost alone would have to be well into the billions of yen. So yeah, if you're not so sure how much that is in dollars, that's about in the tens of millions of dollars. Dismissing something like that is as a birdcage suggests she's maybe hundreds of million. No, it's yeah, it's 10 billion. It's 10 million odds, somewhere around that. Still got a bit of the Speech Group CEO's daughter in her, whether she likes it or not.
ねえユミちゃん、そうやってカッコつけるのもいいけれど、
Hmm?
せっかくなんだからお詫びに一発とか言っておかなくていいの？
誰がそんなことを。
You would.
マキちゃん？
Uh-oh. Well, judging from how quickly things have returned to normal, I guess letting Sachi's past isn't going to make them awkwardly self-conscious around her.
でもそういうことになってたなら一言くらい私たちに相談してくれてもよかったのに。
That would have ruined it. Let's say I did. Would you have agreed to go along with this plan? Yeah.
それは
There we go. More importantly, getting this done required some dicey maneuvering. If things had ended up badly, your knowledge of the plan would have become a serious liability for you.
ちょっと待ってよ。じゃあユージとサチは
I
犯
am.
罪者になっちゃったってわけ？
No, just
だ
me.
ったら今頃もっとたくさんの警察が来て大騒ぎになってたんじゃない？
Right. Like Harmony says, there's only a few cops standing outside the gate. And no media presence whatsoever. I've noticed a few curious locals passing by to gawk at the rubble, but that's about it.
じゃあ
Sorry to disappoint, doesn't look like we'll be doing any time for this one.
なんだ、びっくりさせないでよ。
あなたのことだしどうせそうならないように手を打っていたんでしょ？
Yeah. I did what I could, but things could have played out differently. It came down to your father.
なるほどね。
Oh, the
なる
influence.
ほどって、そんな説明じゃ私には全然わからないんだけど。
That's because you're not the daughter of the CEO.
みちるじゃないけど確かに今回の件は納得いかないことが多いのよね。
Yeah,
あれ
definitely.
だけ大掛かりなことをしたのにどうして周りが騒ぎ立てないのかとか。
We have links.
それは私が説明するわ。
There we go, there's one.
学園長。
But when did she get here? Chizuru, you already done out there?
ええ、あなたとハルデラさんが頑張ってくれたおかげで私の仕事はほとんどなかったようなものだから。
I see. Seems the dice really did fall pretty nicely this time. Almost freakishly so. So we actually got really, really lucky in general.
じゃあ
Wow.
学園長はユージが学園を爆破しようとしていたことを知っていたんですか？
Mm-hmm.
ええ、それはもちろん初めて聞いた時
いや
は顔が真っ青になったけれど、風見くんの熱意とそれが小峰さんのためになるって聞いてね。
And it did it not? Oh, look at that. Look at the blush.
年下のイケメンからおねだりされて思わず大きいしちゃったってことなのよさ。違います。私は一教育者として学生の未来と自主性を。
Ah.
でも学園長が事前に計画をしていたとしてもこの落ち着きぶりはおかしいわ。
Well, maybe it's because the spare money we have?
それは今回の件が世間的に納得済みのものだったからよ。
Okay, that's a bit ominous.
納得済みってどういうことなんですか？
Yeah, I'm curious now.
言葉通り昨日の爆破解体は正規に行われた工事だったの。事前に
Oh,
指輪を配ってね。
that's why there's no one around and no media. Accepting the flyer from Principal Tachibana's outstretched hand, a puzzled Michiru begins to read its contents out loud.
なになに美浜学園新校舎設立に伴う現校舎施設解体作業のお知らせ
Mm-hmm.
ちょっとそんなの聞いてないわよ解体
It was done today.
2011年8月31日何よこれ
Today! Well, this is exactly what it looks like. I made 2 specific requests of Chizu. First and most important, I needed her to provide me with detailed blueprints of the school. So that's where we got all of the support beams and everything done correctly. Okay. In order to ensure an efficient, reliable demolition and prevent any collateral damage to the dormitory that's become our home. Yep, I thought he would have planned that far ahead. And secondly, I asked her to provide advice, warning a follow-up with the Mishima Cape community. As Chizu is both the principal of our school and the well-connected daughter of the prefectural governor, she was uniquely suited to play that role. It fit like a glove.
つまり今回の爆破解体は事前に壊しますよって予告されていたものが予定通りに行われただけのことだったの。
Mm-hmm.
だから商店街の人たちが大変だねって。
Oh, so that was why they were saying that.
多分そうでしょうね。
それにしたって新聞やテレビで一切のニュースになっていないのはおかしいわ。
Yeah, that's fair.
そこに関しては
I think that's
私も
Haridera.
詳しいことはわからないけれど。
That's got to be Haridera.
どうや
報道記者
Sorry. Sorry.
そこに関しては私も詳しいことはわからないけれど、どうやら今回の件は報道規制がかけられているらしいのよ。
Oh, that's got to be Haridera.
榊さんなら知っているかもしれないけど、この国は1992年にあったビル解体以降、大掛かりな爆破解体はほとんど行われていない。
Oh?
だから学園施設の爆破解体ともなれば、世間は嫌でも騒ぎ立てる。
Ah.
それを快く思っていなかったのか、国から大掛かりな報道規制がかけられているみたいで。
Okay, that makes sense. What?
で、それはあなたとハルデラさんの差し金だったんでしょう？
No, I don't think we did. Yeah, that we did.
やっぱり。あなたとハルデラさんなら
Oh,
何かやってくれると思っていたけれど。
I thought he honestly didn't know.
国ってどんだけすごいのよあんたたち。
Yeah.
ユージが私たちとは違う意味で普通じゃないのはなんとなく感じてたけど、
Thank you.
本当に何者？
That's a good question. What again with this? Name, Kazumi Yuji, occupation student, currently attending Mihama Academy. We've been introduced, haven't we?
今となってはその言葉ほどうさんくさいものはないわね。
Yeah, she's right.
隠すってことは言えないってことなんだろうから、これ以上は聞かないけどね。
Just what I'd expect from a discreet young lady like yourself, Harmony. You're a damn good woman.
別の女の子を選んだ男の子にいい女だって言われてもね。
Yeah.
すみません。
Oh, Sachi, it's fine.
謝られると余計傷つく。そんなことよりまずはお風呂に入ってきた方がいいんじゃない？服汚れてるわよ。
Are they? Michiru reaches down and sweeps a few lingering clumps of grass on Sachi's skirt. Oh.
そういえばそうでした。
Uh-huh.
大浴場もいつも通りに使えるから。
Well, yeah, it should be.
お兄ちゃんと一緒に入っちゃってもいいのよさ。
マキちゃんにここまでお願いされては仕方ありませんね。一緒に入りましょう。
She's doing the selfish part. Using her babbling as an excuse? You're a shameless woman.
さすがユウくん、なかなか体が硬いです。
Oh god, she done busted. Yep.
学園長として風紀を乱すような行動は見逃せません。お風呂はちゃんと別々に入ること。
Alright.
それは嫉妬でしょうか？違います。教育者としての行動理念です。残念です。それで2人がお風呂から上がったらもう一度ここに集まってちょうだい。
Okay.
それから仮校舎での授業について説明するから。
Oh, okay.
仮校舎？ 校舎がなくなったからといって授業をしないわけにはいかないでしょ。
Uh-oh, she thought the
これ
test
で
was
も
truly
すぐに
gone.
授業が始められるようにって頑張ったんだからそこは頑張らなくてもよかったです、学園長。
Uh-oh.
そういうことを考える子がいるから授業を休めないんです。
Yep.
はい、それじゃあここで一度解散にしましょうか。その前に一つ質問があるんですが。
Oh?
何？榊さん。
Yeah, what's up?
校舎がなくなる前に予定されていた学力テストは行われるんですか？
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Uh-oh. The instant the question leaves Sakeki's lips, Sachi's expression grows visibly serious. This entire plan was carried out under pretext of getting rid of that test. It is only natural that the outcome would be a point of interest for everyone in this room.
それは小峰さんに聞きたいんだけれど。
Yes.
私にですか？
What do you think?
え、小峰さん、あなたはまだ学力テストをなくす必要があると思う？
それは
Come on. Halfway through her tentative sentence, Sachi closed her eyes and full sight to think the question over more carefully. We watch and wait in tense silence for the result of her deliberations. Come on.
思いません。みんなが受けるテストなら私たちも受けるべきです。
Yes! 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 Are you absolutely sure about
本
that?
当にそれでいいのね。
Oh. I get the impression she should have been expecting this answer, but she gently asked for confirmation anyway.
はい。そのテストでいい点を取ってゆうくんに褒めてもらえるように頑張ります。
And Sachi's shamelessly cheerful response delivered with a big smile on her face. Takes me even me by surprise.
な、
Yeah.
ここまで開き直られると怒る気にもならないわね。なんだかかっこいいのよ、サッチン。
Yes!
はあ、結局はのろけですか。そうですか。
Just a few hours ago, the girl had been willing to do anything and everything to get rid of that test. Up to and including something as dramatic as destroying her own school. So understandably enough, everyone was startled by her overwhelmingly bright and positive answer. But it was undeniable proof that Sachi was no longer trapped by the skewed system of values she had clung to for so long. Maybe that cheerful smile was a little audacious after all that. But nobody was about to criticize her for it. Once she easily let us know that standardized test would in fact be conducted a few days later than originally scheduled, we brought the gathering to a temporary conclusion. And after watching Sachi head off for her world as a bath, I pull out one of my cell phones and make a call. I'm gonna end it here. This just feels perfect. Oh my god. Like, what do I even say? This just feels too perfect. I am really, really happy that I played this right now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. I'm glad I'm ended this here because I've been smiling like an idiot and my cheeks hurt. So I need to stop and I need to stop this video now. And I hope you guys enjoyed that whole part with me because I certainly enjoyed it. But as I said, I am all out of time. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next video. Sonaja, guys. I will most certainly see you next time. I ended up hitting my damn finger on a massive button on my overcoat. Bloody hurt.